All right, I'm Adam, and I'm here with Edwin and Amir from Crash Karma. How's it going, guys?
Pretty good today. Thank you, Adam.
Excellent.
Very well, thanks.
First of all, congratulations on your new album, your second one. It's called Musique Deluxe. It came out on Tuesday. I know it's only been out for a couple of days, but any idea what the fan response has been like yet?
From my perspective, the fans have really dug it. What I find enjoyable about it is everyone that listens to the record has a different favorite track. And I really like that because we obviously like every track on the record, and we feel we put, the best tracks we had on the record. But the fact that there's diversity for different tastes, and everybody has a different track, I take that as a compliment.
When Crash Karma first introduced itself a couple of years ago, do you think there was kind of a learning curve with music fans, given that, for them to get over their expectations based on your previous projects?
Not sure they got over the expectations. They kind of want to hear. I want to hear the Tea Party now. I feel like hearing Our Lady Peace now. I want to hear I'm Mother Earth, and this is a different beast, different in nature. But I think what we all do is what we do. Edwin sounds like Edwin. He's not going to sound like anybody else just because he's in another band, or he can join Metallica. It'll sound like Metallica with Edwin. So, what we do and what we play and how we play and our styles just translate into this new band and kind of creates a new formula.
Do you think there's any way to get past that? Because, even you think of other supergroups like them Crooked Vultures, for instance, there was just constant comparisons, positive or negative, to how much sounds like what band, right?
Well, we kind of are, to be honest, we're proud of what we did in the past. Individually, we're proud, and collectively, we're proud because we wouldn't be together if it wasn't for that. We also feed into it in the sense that, for our shows on the first Crash Karma record, throughout the touring, we played an Our Lady Peace song, an I'm Mother Earth song, a Tea Party song, just to familiarize the crowd with who we are as individuals, and we played a Zygote song, and so we kind of play into it also, and it really enhances our show as far as getting the crowd, giving them something that they know to sing to, and kind of getting them on your side, and then we spring them with all the new songs, and it works better that way. But in the future, we're probably going to weed that out of the set.
Now, Amir, I've heard you say before that you were a big fan of Our Lady Peace, Mother Earth, and Tea Party back in the day. Did you have to get over, just kind of get out of the headspace of, oh my God, I'm playing with these guys in a band now?
No, I can't believe I'm sitting beside Edwin. This is crazy.
Still, yeah.
I was a very big fan of I'm Mother Earth, specifically because the musicianship and the style, it kind of helped. It actually influenced, I think, my band. Some of the guys in my band, for sure, in Zygote, stylistically. So, I don't know. It was weird. Just all of a sudden, we were just kind of friends, and I forget. It's weird. When I hear, like, an I'm Mother Earth song on the radio, I'm like, hey, it's Ed, But when I'm with him, it's like, oh, this guy again. When will he start wearing deodorant? Oh, God, it's this guy. No, it just kind of became what... It's a weird question. It's a good question, because I don't really look. I just look at them as who they are. I don't know. I guess that kind of changes after a while. Like Burroughs is. I remember when I think about the Tea Party and Jeff Burroughs in the Tea Party, it was like, oh my God, that's like the craziest drummer. Now I think about Burroughs, I'm like, that guy's so funny. I can't wait to have a Caesar and chill out with him again. Like he's my friend. So it's just different, I guess.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
How did the songwriting process for the new album differ from the first one?
Not a hell of a lot. We just had less time this time. I think the first time around, it was just I don't know. I do a lot of writing. That's just what I do. I write with other artists as well, and it's really what I bring to the band. Otherwise, I'm pretty much useless. These guys are super talented, and and they do what they do, and what I bring is the songwriting, and the difference isn't really much. I mean, this time around, I think we're a lot more open with one another because now we're friends. We're really good friends, so it's like. Edwin could be like, that's the worst song I've ever heard in my life, bro. And before he'd be like, that's cool, but could we try playing something totally different? So now he's like, Amir, man, that's just horrible, terrible song. Just let's never hear that again. I'd be like, okay. So in that respect, that's changed. But otherwise, it's just the same old thing.
The second album's called Musique Deluxe. How'd you arrive at that title?
Well, I was traveling through Thailand a few years back, and no, truthfully, it's just Burroughs. He's like, let's call it Musique Deluxe, and we said, okay. That was literally the entire process. we're not that interesting or original. I think it got to a point like we are ridiculous, silly. Like the level of ridiculousness is unmeasurable. It took us a year to come up with a band name, and the amount of stupid names we came up with was just we should have written a show based on band names. But so then it was like we have to, and I think Edwin was like, we have to name this record, and everyone just did oh god, and Burroughs was like, how about Rock Musique Deluxe? And we're like, yeah, done. Everyone cool. Moving on. It was just the most liberating experience ever.
I was planning on a full 5 minutes on this topic. 'Cause,
Okay.
I mean, it sounds like a mission.
Let me add
statement,
to it. The Rock Music Deluxe, to me, when it was mentioned, did suit the style of the record because the record is not just locked into one sound. It's a problem because sometimes you like to pigeonhole bands and classify them and go and label them as they are this. And with this band, it's a little more diversified. And so the rock music, we are rock musicians, rock fans, rock players. And the deluxe part was just sort of exploring just slightly beyond those parameters. Still within the rock vein, but not necessarily something you'd bang your head to. And I just found the deluxe part kind of appropriate for this record because we are sort of seasoned musicians, and what we put out there is going to be our best, and it's going to be highly scrutinized by the fans and by the band. So I found the title suits the album very well.
Speaking of rock music, do you think rock music's status has changed at all from 20 years ago to now?
I think, well, depends who you're asking. Edwin and I have a bit of a different perspective. I think I've heard Edwin say a million times it's kind of just hibernating right now, but it's going to come back. It's going to explode, and I'm a little more pessimistic. No, honestly, I'm waiting for rock stars. I'm waiting for the young, young generation of musicians to come out, and so I can find a new rock star to love, because I don't know that there's and I had this conversation with my buddies playing poker. There isn't a single, as far as I can think of, there isn't a single like rock star under the age of 30, and that is a strange realization. I can't think of, when I say rock star, I mean like Lenny Kravitz, or like rock star, like real, like, oh my god, that guy is a rock. Jimmy, or Robert Plant. There's just nobody under the age of 30. So what I'm seeing now, what I've noticed is that, it's the guys over 30 who are the rock stars, who are still killing it and doing what we do, whether it be Soundgarden or Alice in Chains or whoever, Pearl Jam, Crash Karma, Our Lady Peace, all those guys, the Tea Party. Those guys are still rock stars. Like we're doing that kind of thing, but I'm waiting to hear the young kids come out and be like, "Oh my god, have you heard of this band? You gotta check them out." And it's just like that epic level of coolness, and that's what's making me wonder whether or not rock music is. Well, that's when it's gonna come back. I mean, I guess in a way we're both saying the same thing. Is just what's gonna make it come back. I don't know. I'm waiting for those 19-year-old kids to just come out and just slaughter, and I can just thank God, we got something really cool. Because right now all the kids in high school are DJs, and when I was a kid, we're all in rock bands. I don't know anybody who wasn't a musician. We were all wearing our lumber jackets and our docks, and we're all loving music, and it was the best time of music ever as far as I'm concerned. The early 90s, and since then it's just gotten weird. And rock music today is such a broad genre. It's like Mumford & Sons were nominated for Best Rock Group of the Year at the Grammys when I was there, and I thought I was hallucinating. And not because I have any issues with Mumford & Sons. They're actually incredible. They performed. They're amazing prairie country group. But how are they nominated for Rock Band of the Year when 1996 it was Nirvana or whatever, 92 Nirvana versus Pearl Jam, Metallica. I'm like, yeah, those are rock bands. So it's I think there's a bit of confusion as to what the rock genre brings today. I'm not sure why, but I think that's kind of the thing that's slowing it down a bit.
Do you think it's possible that, there are as many and possibly even as good rock bands out there now, it's just not what is the hottest selling stuff out there?
I blame also the industry, the record companies, for what they sign and what they promote. Yes, DJs, it seems, Amir's in the pop world, and I deal with it a lot also. And DJs are the rock stars of today. But eventually, because DJs only play other people's music, they're going to run out of other people's music to play and mash up and mix and borrow samples from. So somebody's going to have to start writing some new music, in my opinion. And, you know, a true musician can sit there in a room with his instrument or her instrument and sing along or just play and entertain. A DJ, it's a whole different ball game. And, you know, I'd like to see everybody have their day. I think there's room in the industry for pop, rock, hip hop, rap, etc., 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 country, folky, prairie rock too. I don't like it when one aspect of music takes over and drowns out everything else. It kind of cheapens the whole thing to me. So I would like to see a more diversified share of the industry. However, you know, that being said, where does that start and where does that end? I have no idea.
Can I answer that too? I mean, from my experience, yeah, I think as Edwin's right about, you know, music industry kind of determining, okay, this is what we're gonna consider to be cool rock, because obviously we only get, for the most part, we get access to the bands that the labels have given us access to, and those who are real music lovers will kind of dig in and really dig in. And now there's such access with the internet to be able to find the coolest and most incredible things. The problem is when those cool, incredible bands aren't sustained monetarily, they end, and it's hard to be able to continue to be a fan of a cool new band when they just disappear. In terms of, you know, I think also the fact that there's such access to recording tools and stuff that everyone's recording stuff, it's drowning out a lot of stuff. So, you know, yeah, DJs, he was saying, you know, eventually they got to write new music. Well, that's what they're doing now. I mean, you have, you know, groups like Cruella coming up, you know, Zed, who's now an artist, David Guetta is an artist DJ. It's almost like the lines are blurred, as Robin Thicke would say. And, you know, it's like you have you know, Dead Mouse doing his thing, and a lot of these DJs that you're talking about, when they're performing, yeah, they play other people's music, but like there's a lot of DJs that just make their own music. Nicky Romero, Alesso, they create their own songs, and they're really pop DJ electronic dance. It's like all the genres are starting to, you know, swirl together. So I mean, you know, there's a lot of things I think that are contributing to the, I don't know if I want to say displacement of rock, but definitely the you know, overflow of other types of styles that are kind of drowning us out a little bit. But, you know, people who like rock. So they just got to find the bands that they like, and the access is overwhelming, I think.
For sure. I mean, I think in terms of distributing music, the gates are really open right now is the big difference from how it used to be. But then again, I mean, everything's cyclical, I guess, so we'll see.
The bottom line is people want to dance. You can't deny the popularity of people wanting to dance. So that's why, you know, it's a beautiful thing. Like, you got these huge dance festivals with all these DJs and bands and stuff like that. And, you know, just standing there and banging your head is less appealing these days, unless that's how you grew up.
You guys should have glow sticks at your shows, really.
You know what's weird? There's something that, and correct me if I'm wrong, but back in the day, it was always like it was either the rock festival or this festival. Everyone is everywhere. Yeah. You know, that massive festival in Chicago, Jay-Z, Pearl Jam. I'm like, what's going on? Like, just like the most random. It was just like, what? And there's a lot of that now, and I like that. I like that a lot, because I think a lot of people are starting to go. Because when I was a kid, it was like you either liked rock or you liked hip hop / rap, or you liked. Is there anything else really?
Lighter rock.
Yeah, but then nobody knew who you were. But like, it was just really those two kind of genres, maybe, and the, you know, the dance kind of DJ electronic thing was really kind of small. And now it's just like you ask people. Like, I listen to a whole bunch of stuff that I never used to listen to. My friends make fun of me for it all the time. I was at the Backstreet Boys concert last night because I'm friends with some of the guys, and it was just like, I'm thinking to myself, if my friends saw me here, they would kill me. But whatever. I got to drink for free with Nick Carter, hanging out. It was good.
Yeah, and I know you can like everything ironically. I'm not saying you did, but
That's right.
You could, depending on who you're talking to, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's the iPod generation, right? So I mean, just people
Or
don't
iPad generation now, more than
Yeah,
anything.
I guess. Yeah, I'm behind on that stuff.
You're
now.
getting old, buddy.
All right, back to your record though. Tomorrow is the lead single. Anything you can tell me about how that song came together?
We had finished the record. We had 10 songs that we believed were 10 potential singles. When we submitted it to our radio promotion gentleman, he he said, "Great album, guys. I really love it, but I don't have the big first single. Is there any chance you guys could go back in the studio?" Well, after a year and a half in the studio, the last thing in the world we wanted to do was go back into the studio and change all our schedules to going back and recording. Thankfully, Amir, with his talents, came in and goes, "I got these ideas, these songs." He played us 3 of his songs on acoustic guitar with our radio guy in the room, and 2 of them we all jumped up and down about, and one of them was the song "Tomorrow." From there, we recorded those songs faster than we've recorded anything in this band. Even though the rest of the record took forever, we seem to have been in a groove at that point, I guess, maybe, and we banged out those songs within 2 weeks. "Tomorrow," we hashed out the lyrics, we a little bit of tweaking here and there, and at the end of it, we felt really strongly about it. Our radio gentleman loved it, and radio's been supporting it very well so far.
Yeah, like Awake it was just a great representation of the kind of tones you get on the album, I think. And sort of, I was thinking earlier today how Fight was a great follow-up to that, to something a little bit harder edge, just kind of the opposite end of the spectrum within what you do. Any thoughts on what the second single from the new album is going to be?
No clue. We really all like different songs. We're kind of, my attitude is whichever one you want. I mean, these are the best songs we got. We had probably about 20 plus songs to go through. These are the 11 that we are like, these are the best songs. All 4 of us agree, yes, this is it. Now let everybody else do whatever they do. Let them do the business.
If we had a choice, though, I feel some of the guys in the band like the song "Finally Free," and one of my choices would be "Man on Trial."
Man on Trial, I was going to say.
Well, no, let's keep it down to 2. Tonight after tomorrow. But I like "Man on Trial." I think right off the top that song grabs you, and I think the chorus is very catchy once you've heard it once or twice. And
Sure.
so those would be probably the 2 front runners to answer your question.
Yeah, just what I was thinking. Now, last question. What are your plans for touring?
We were just discussing that today, actually. We're planning on going out September 19th, starting in Burlington, Ontario, and then it'll be a month-long tour across the country, well, from Ontario west and back. We're playing, I think, 25 shows or something in that area. And we just came from that meeting to here, so it's still very fresh, and we're still working out the details. I told them I'm not singing more than 4 shows in a row. I told them I'm not singing more than 5 shows in a row. I put my foot down at 4, but it's 5. It depends on the routing, actually. You don't want to do a show you don't want to miss a Friday night. You don't want to play on a Sunday night necessarily. So it all depends on the routing, but that's the plan so far.
Okay. Anyone you want to tour? You have your heart set on touring with, or is that
We're
yet to be
we're
discussed?
debating and toss. Yeah, we're gonna let them open for us.
Give them 45 minutes.
We were gonna let I Mother Earth, Our Lady Peace, and the Tea Party open for us, but we decided they may not go for it.
Okay, yeah.
No. Yeah, we're working that out. No answers yet.
Okay, fair enough. That I'd give it a shot, really. But,
Whatever they bring to us, man. If we like the band. It doesn't even matter. We just want to play. I'm just ready to get on the bus with these guys because it's so ridiculously fun. We have the best time. So the studio's hard, like I'm in the studio all the time. Mike has his own studio, so he's always in the studio, and I'm always in the studio too. I'm always working with other artists, and it's just like studio's like okay, cool, but the touring is when the shit hits the fan, and we get ridiculous. Crazy.
In the studio, you're creating, and you're always like trying to come up with the best ideas, and it's a whole different mindset. On tour, it's just, hey, let's go have fun. We know what we're doing. We know the songs. We that's where the fun begins for us. Not that it's not fun in the studio, but it's a whole different kind of fun. It's like hanging with your buddies, and we don't get to see each other very much. We all have different lives a lot of the time. So when we do get to hang out, it's because we want to. It's not because we have to. And I think that comes off in our shows, and definitely keeps us on the road and not one guy hopping on a plane and going, I hate you guys, I'm going home. But then again, that could happen around the end of September, so we'll see.
well, your attitudes are very refreshing. For diplomatic reasons, I'll leave it at that. But love what you guys are doing. Amir, it's great to meet you.
You too, buddy. Thank you so much.
Edwin, thanks so much for coming in.